net zero by 2050. It seems a long way into the future, because it is. Not soon enough. Net zero by 2025, maybe. Or tomorrow. Or yesterday. But obviously that can't happen. No. But according to scientists, specialists, remember, you shouldn't, listen to the experts. No. According to Michael Gove. Longer. That's what he is. Well, let's say, for instance, 2050 was our goal and it was acceptable. But it's not. But let's say it was. According to these scientists, they're saying that, there could be another way. Okay. Oh. Sounds all very Ziggy Stardust to me, what they're proposing. So what the hell am I on about? Let me show you. Okay. Let's go and have a look. So we're going to go in and we're going to have a look at this. This is in the New Scientist. I'll leave a link in the description down below. And it's quite interesting, actually. Other ways of carbon capture. Now we've got the carbon capture projects. One's currently frozen in Norway. Was it Norway? No, in Iceland. They didn't expect it to be cold. It froze. But still, it's a great project, and they managed to capture a lot of carbon. But how else are we going to capture this carbon, and what do we do with it once we've got it? How much carbon do we need? Not that much, no. Some, say that we can inject it into concrete, store it that way. We need more natural ways of doing so. And maybe this could be classed as one. So rock dust apparently can meet half of the UK's, net zero removal target. Half! Now, this to meet its net zero target, the UK needs technology to remove CO2 from the atmosphere currently. But sprinkling this rock dust, stardust, on fields could form a big part of the solution. Apparently. Now, spreading rock dust across the UK's farmland could provide almost half of the amount of carbon dioxide removal the country needs to meet its binding net zero target for 2050, according to new analysis. Now, the recent report by the Intergovernmental Panel on Climate Change said that the need to remove vast amounts of carbon dioxide from the atmosphere is unavoidable. We have to do something. I think it's the most responsible thing this big and Tory government has said to date. What do you reckon? Leave it in the comments down below. Now, if the world's climate goals are to be met, enhanced rock weathering, a process in which rocks such as basalt are ground up to increase their surface area and accelerate the natural reactions through which they absorb carbon from the atmosphere, the air. That has already been found to be a potential large-scale option for those removals. Quite fantastic. Now researchers have taken a more realistic look at the promise this technique could hold in the UK. Now, David Beerling at the University of Sheffield, UK, and his colleagues factored in statistics from past basalt mining and more sophisticated models that account for how soil chemistry affects weathering's rates and how the size of the rock particles changes over time. Now, they found that by mid-century, sprinkling rock dust on UK fields could allow for the absorption of 6 to 30 million tonnes of CO2 a year. Now, that's up to 45% of the carbon removals needed for the country's net zero target. The cumulative removals would be close to the potential from planting new woods. It's got overlooked. It has. The potential to help with the UK's net zero by 2050 commitment, says Mr. Beerling. And it has a number of co-benefits that industrial processes don't have. And it is highly cost competitive. Now, there are some who feel that, for crops, for instance, if you're spreading this stuff on to get minerals into the food, in theory, it's a great idea, but there is some scepticism to whether or not crops can absorb the minerals via rock dust. This is yet to be proved, one way or the other. Now, one benefit shown by past studies is that the ground up rock can act as a fertiliser, boosting crop yields. Also, while Beerling's team found that the technique was more expensive than tree planting. It's about half the cost of direct air capture, though. The DAC machines, like the one I was mentioning about in Iceland, that's frozen. Oh dear. The fact there's a carbon capture in Iceland and they didn't expect it to be cold is just madness. They didn't think that one through, did they? No. I don't think they're thinking. They're thinking all about the carbon dioxide capture, but they weren't thinking about the fact that it was blinking cold. Anyway, at least they're trying, I suppose. Well, the study also found that the crushing the rock would need relatively little energy, 0.2% of the UK electricity generation in the short term, and that the size of the ground particles makes only a minor difference to how fast they draw down carbon. So maybe it'll be less energy if they haven't got to grind it down so far. Well, still, the approach remains very much in the research phase, with just 3 field trials active in the UK. That is overshadowed by companies driving alternative methods of CO2 removal, such as UK energy firm Drax's hopes to, build a negative emissions power station that will burn plants, and Canadian-based company Carbon Engineering's plans for the DAC facility in Scotland. I do like it that the fact we've been very global here and allowing all these companies to come into the UK and do all the heavy lifting. I thought post-Brexit we're supposed to be getting, work for our people. Oh, the British people. Oh, not those pesky foreigners. Obviously, that's not my view. I don't really mind where the workers come from, frankly. It's the fact that Brexit was sold on a basis of that, effectively, racism. Anyway, I digress. Bit of a passion of mine. I hate racism, and so should you. Well, the 45% figure would also only be reached in a scenario with more basalt mines that exist today. So there would need to be a local buy-in for new ones. Now, more research should help change attitudes, says Beerling. Now, I would hope that maybe in 5 years we'll have got a policymaker's attention, what he says. We need more research, more scientific studies. And also, we need to be talking about this stuff. And that's why on this channel I do hope to try and find articles and information, science-based information that is, on the current state of affairs. Not propaganda or other ridiculous statements by, global warming deniers, anti-vaxxers, etc., etc. That I'm not interested in. Well, I'm interested, but it won't sway me. I just find it interesting that the fact that you're so stupid to believe in all that rubbish. Blimey. I don't know what to say now. Anyway, if you be most kind, click like and subscribe. And maybe that little bell icon, because then you get a warm fuzzy feeling in your pocket every time I upload another video. And I hope you'll be excited about that. And if you'd be most kind also, maybe leave a comment down below. How do you feel about this? You think it's a good idea? It sounds quite interesting to me. That it does. Oh, basalt mines. I suppose that's jobs. People. You might not have a job. But maybe not in the UK. Because in the UK, we've got a shortage of people because of Brexit. And the fact that we closed the door on hard-working Europeans. But, from EU member states. Well, I mean, maybe you have an opinion on that as well. Leave it in the comments down below. I always read the comments, but you probably already know. But be nice. This is a nice channel. Ta-ta.